It's original series and specials to see. For 30 days, try it for free. Paramount, Paramount, Paramount Plus. A mountain of entertainment for us. Give yourself this gift and don't delay your mountain holiday.
Give yourself the gift of Paramount Plus.
So turn on Fire TV.
Oh, start here tutorial.
Play the pirate show.
Find dog training videos.
Pause video. Restart video.
Alexa, it's time for bed.
What if you could skip the stuff and surprise loved ones with gifts inspired by stories? Like, this isn't just a Barefoot Dreams cardigan. It's the Cook family's drive to make the feeling of a hug into something wearable. That's the kind of inspiration you won't find stocked haphazardly on shelves. And it's why we're about the stories behind our products, and the stories those stories spark. And that story? Well, that's a tale for you to tell. At QVC and HSN, we bring life to products, and products to life.
Get back to talking smack with the side of mac and cheese. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. To get the facts, visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision.
The best taste in town. Swab. Alfonso Mango Shrikhand. Swab. The best taste in town. Swab. Unsalted butter. Swab. The best taste in town.
Patel Brothers, celebrating our food, our culture.
Swab. Dehraduni Basmati Rice. Swab. The best taste in town. Swad. Save Puri Kit. Swad. The best taste in town.
You are watching India Today.
All the top stories from the world of business. Let's begin with the top headlines this evening. Steady gains on Dalal Street. Nifty ends above the 17,100 mark. Sensex soars 600 points, led by metal and finance. Pharma shares dragged the indices down. Semiconductor shortage continues to haunt the auto sector in November. Sales down across the board. No signs of recovery as yet. Big jump clocked in GST collections figure in November, second only to April 2021. It's a clear sign of a recovery in the economy. Nearly a month after the cut in excise duty, Kejriwal government finally slashes VAT on fuel in Delhi. Petrol now costs 95 rupees a litre in the national capital. Business in crosshairs again as Omicron forces countries around the world continue to impose travel restrictions. India delays the resumption of international flights. Haryana sticks to its guns on the reservation in the private sector. Deputy Chief Minister says government is trying its best to give 75% reservation before 15 January. Let's get you a sense of what happened in the intraday trading action in the markets. The markets rebound, holding steady gains through the session today. The key benchmark indices, 50 and Sensex, closed with gains of over 1% in today's trading session. Robust GST collection, positive global markets aided the market sentiment, but the fear of fresh restrictions due to Omicron variant brought down the multiplex stocks. They are on your screens right now. Inox Leisure falling almost 5%. PVR Cinemas recorded a 1% drop. Pharma and healthcare names 2 registered losses. Top laggards, on your screens right now included Cipla down 4.4% in today's trading session. There is Lab, Dr. Reddy, and many others. They're on your screens at the moment. Buying was witnessed in banking sector with IndusInd Bank and Axis Bank leading this particular surge. IndusInd Bank up 5.8% today's trading session. JSW Steel up 5% and Tata Motors locked in gains as well. 1 day left in the IPO of Star Health Insurance has been subscribed only 20% so far. So much anticipated hype in the IPO of the company, which is backed by big bull Rakesh Chinchinwala, seems to have failed to enthuse institutional investors so far, with only 7% bids for the QIP portion. The retail investor portion was subscribed 89% on day 2. The issue that is raising over 7,200 crore rupees closes tomorrow. Auto sales failed to gather pace in November. Muted demand, supply constraints, global shortage of semiconductors has plagued the sales of automakers. Poor rural demand, erratic monsoon, delayed harvest led to the slowdown in sales for the tractors. Automakers across the board had a bumpy ride in November. Maruti saw a marginal rise in sales numbers compared to October. Tata Motors registered a massive 8% fall in sales. M&M and Hyundai reported a slump in sales. On the other hand, you've got Toyota sales that jumped about 4.5%. Two-wheeler sales also continue to be fairly under pressure. TVS reported a 24% fall in sale as compared to last month. Bajaj Auto recorded a massive jump in sales on a month-on-month basis compared to November last year. The company reported a 12% fall in sales. India's electric vehicle market, or the EVM sector, is expected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate, or a CAGR, of 90% this decade. According to a report by consulting firm RBSA Advisors, the market will touch $150 billion by 2030. The Indian EV market is currently in infancy and barely accounts for 1.3% of total vehicle sales. The report, however, states that the EV technology required sizable investment in R&D and product development and will require an investment of $200 billion. Punjab National Bank can focus after bank cuts interest rates on savings accounts for balances below 10 lakh rupees to 2.8% per annum. The bank has also reduced the interest rates on savings accounts for balances above 10 lakh rupees to 2.8%, 2.85 to be precise percent. The bank is also offering an interest rate on FDs ranging between 2.9% and 5.25% on fixed deposits maturing in the range of 7 days to 10 years. In a move that would provide further relief to the telecom operators, the Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Modi is said to have considered proposal to roll back the one-time spectrum charge. This charge would have imposed a 40,000 crore burden on operators like Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea. This is coming a day before the Supreme Court is scheduled to hear the matter on Thursday. Earlier in October, the Department of Telecommunications had told the Supreme Court that the government was reconsidering the charge. While Airtel counter did not seem to be enthused by this development, Vodafone Idea shot up 14% in trade today. Chetan Bhutani joins us with more details. Chetan, tell us a little more about this particular development and, the impact it's had on the markets as well. The Airtel counter didn't seem to be very enthused by the development, but you saw Vodafone Idea stock shoot up 14% in today's trading session. What has led to this kind of shooting up of Vodafone counter?
Well, that's right, Chaiti. This development and a possible good relief for the telecom companies, the Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has considered and discussed the proposal of rolling back OTSC, which is one-time spectrum charges that was really about 40,000 crore rupees relief to companies like Vodafone Idea and Bharti Airtel. However, Bharti Airtel did not see any good spike in its trading. Of course, Vodafone Idea literally had a good response to the news coming in. However, our sources have been telling us that the Prime Minister chaired Union Cabinet meeting today discussed this matter. However, no decision was announced by the central government. However, remember the OTSC charges would be about 40,000 crore rupees, and experts feel that with this development, if the proposal goes through, it could possibly one of the biggest wins in settlement of cases in the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme. So in times to come, we can expect a big possible relief and good news for telecom companies.
All right, so that's fairly a good relief that could perhaps come in for the telecommunications sector. Thanks so much, Chetan, for bringing our viewers up to speed with the very latest developments right there. Massive relief coming in for the people in Delhi. Price of petrol in Delhi has been slashed by 8 rupees after the Delhi cabinet decided to slash VAT from 30% to 19.4%. Now, the new petrol prices will be a little over 95 rupees with a current price that is standing at 103 rupees. The new rates will come into effect from midnight today. However, there is no change in the diesel pricing for now. Earlier, in the first week of November, the centre had announced reduction of 5 rupees per litre in the excise duty of petrol and 10 rupees per litre on diesel after fuel prices touched a record high. The fuel prices still remain the highest in Mumbai at 109.98 rupees a litre. Moving on to some macro news that is coming in. The government collected 1.3 lakh crore rupees GST revenue in November. That surpassed October's collection and also registered second highest monthly collection since the implementation of the GST. The revenues for the month of November 2021 are 25% higher than the GST revenues in the same month last year and 27% over 2019 and 2020. The graph on your screen will explain this better to you. Government said that the recent trend of high GST revenue has been a result of various policy and administrative measures that have been taken over the past to improve the compliance. The Indian manufacturing sector grew the fastest pace in 10 months in November. An easing of COVID restrictions drove the demand and boosted sales, indicating the economy was now slowly in the path of normalization. Compiled by the IHS market, the Purchasing Managers Index rose to 57.6 in November from 55.9 in October. The reading was the highest since Jan and the fifth straight month above the 50 mark that separates growth from contraction. The international travel and hospitality business is holding its breath again, even as the world is opening